Welcome to Impact Headlines. US-EU fast-track negotiations following tariff pause. Global oil demand to slow in 2025. UK inflation at a one-year high. This week, the US paused a proposed 50% blanket tariff on the European Union as both parties agreed to fast-track negotiations. Trump's disappointment with the negotiation process prompted the proposed tariff hike. According to Trump, a deal is expected by around July 9th. The US faces growing recession risks, heightening the urgency to finalize the ongoing trade war. Additionally, rising interest costs on the US treasuries are expected to further strain the nation's finances. Impact on Sri Lanka. The United States is Sri Lanka's largest export market. In 2024, Sri Lankan exports to the United States grew by 5.5% to $2.9 billion, with apparel accounting for over 70% of these exports. A healthy US economy is therefore important for Sri Lanka's economy. Earlier this month, Sri Lanka was invited to participate in the next round of discussions on a trade deal aimed at reducing tariffs. A tariff waiver is expected since Sri Lanka is under the IMF program. Due to Trump's tariff war, year-to-date global oil prices have fallen by over 15%, with Brent oil prices approaching a four-year low. According to IEA, the tariff war and record electrical vehicle sales are expected to reduce daily oil demand to 650,000 barrels, down from the earlier forecast of nearly 1 million barrels per day. Meanwhile, the rising US oil production is also pressuring OPEC Plus members by driving prices to unfavorable levels for production. Impact on Sri Lanka. This year, low oil prices have helped Sri Lanka maintain an overall current account surplus, helping maintain the overall BOP deficit at low levels. The nation imports around $5 billion worth of crude oil each year. While the country's foreign exchange reserves have improved in recent months, they still remain very low at just around 4 months of imports. The UK's inflation rose to 3.5% in April, the highest level in more than a year. The surge is attributed to a rise in household bills, including water, gas and electricity. According to the Bank of England, inflation is expected to peak at around 3.7% between July and September. This latest inflation data raises concerns that the recent 25 basis point interest rate cut by the Bank of England will effectively control rising prices. Due to its relatively balanced trade with the US, the UK has been among the less affected countries by Trump's tariff policy. Yet, inflation continues to rise. Impact on Sri Lanka. The recent trade deal with the US is expected to ensure stable economic conditions and low inflation in the UK. This will help boost demand for Sri Lankan goods and tourism. The UK is Sri Lanka's second largest export and third largest tourism source market. In 2025, over 93,000 UK tourists are expected in Sri Lanka. And that's the wrap for this week. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated on the latest developments in Sri Lanka.